Hello, this is WPX 91.5 FM H21 Marquette. This is the Jack and Dom radio show, and just want to let everyone know that the opinions said on this show do not represent the opinions of this radio station or the university. If you so choose, you're able to get the recording of this show on Amazon Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. We're also now on social media, so if you so choose, you can currently find us on Twitter and Facebook. Just look up the Jack and Dom radio show. That being said, good afternoon, everyone. In the wise words of Limp Bizkit from the song Break Stuff, this is one of those days. One of those days, meaning you just don't want to wake up, you don't want to do anything, it just feels like a bad day. This kind of feels like one of those days for both of us. That being said, sports is something that, at least for me, and I believe for Jack as well, can be a good distraction from the problems in life. So a lot of stuff, at least for me, literally like happened all within short succession. I will definitely be making a lot of emails to a lot of people. Don't want to go into too much detail about that because it's not really into sports. But
hey,
still,
if you're going to quote music, I will too.
Go ahead.
It's just another Manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday. All right,
yeah.
Let's jump.
Lots to talk about. Something actually good in the world of football, at least for us, because like the only time where NMU football. In the world of football, at least for me, I don't know about for you, is like the only positive thing because Michigan State Spartans lost, the Lions lost.
I mean, Michigan won, so I'm happy. But
NMU won. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I think like this is probably the first time I've been like. I was very happy about the win against Davenport, but I wasn't all that impressed because they didn't play that well all around. They just won a game in what looked like two bad teams that didn't want to win. This was, I think, the first time where I don't think of this as a debate. I think this is the first time where they really were able to exert their will up front. Like, yeah, you won the line scrimmage against Davenport. You won that game. You beat Roosevelt comfortably.
Yes.
But this is the first time where you truly blew a team out of the water. Yes, you beat Roosevelt comfortably, but this was blowing a team out of the water. You won 45-11. It was really garbage time. So you really won like 42-3 in regulation time before you got into that garbage time. And deservedly so. Noah Daubert wins Offensive Player of the Week. Jeremiah Gossett, Defensive Player of the Week. And Michael Carlin, Special Teams Player of the Week. All deservedly so.
I think it's the first time NMU has been able to say that again.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah. But there's a couple things I want to point out.
Go ahead.
And even the positives, I'm going to be negative Nelly here. There's one thing that I'm very disappointed about.
Okay.
And that is Noah Daubert had the chance to break the all-time record for rushing yards in a game for Division II. And they rested him, I think, a little bit too much and didn't quite give him enough opportunities to do that. And I understand you're up in a blowout game. You want to get some backups in. You want to be respectful of the score line. But he was so close to the all-time record for League Two, and I think it would have been really cool if they'd let him get it. I understand why they don't. Like, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been really cool if he did. Regardless, he breaks a single-season rushing record in a game for NMU and also single-season rushing yards for NMU with over 1,600.
That's a lot. Yeah, that is a lot.
That's what happens when you have multiple 300-yard-plus games on the ground. You'll have to check, but I believe that was the NMU record as well, and potentially, or it was the NMU record. I think it was also potentially the GLIAC record. You'll have to fact check me on that one for most rushing yards in a game. So exciting stuff there. They ran Wayne State out of the building, and deservedly so. Wayne State is 0-11 for a reason.
Yep.
It's nice to say we're not the 0-11 team this year.
We're not in the bottom of the GLIAC.
Right, we're actually third from the bottom, which is not bad. You've got a really top-heavy conference, obviously, with Ferris and GVSU dominating week in and week out. Tech's obviously pretty solid. Davenport's pretty solid.
Ferris, I believe, faces Northwood in the first round of the D2 playoff.
Oh, they'll win another national championship. There's no question. But it's a a GLIAC that has those top heavy teams, Ferris and GV. You've got the upper level programs, and Michigan Tech has worked their way up there. Davenport has been in and out of that range. And then I feel like I'm missing a team, but you've got whoever that team is that I'm missing, and then the bottom three. Am I missing a team? I definitely am.
I don't know.
Anyway, the bottom three of IMU, Roosevelt, and Wayne State come out the bottom tier.
Yep.
And it's nice to not be the bottom.
The bottom.
Be interesting to see how their national coaching search goes. Hope we can get a winner from D3. I think there's a significant chance they keep the current coach, which I don't love, but he has been winning, so I'm maybe he is the right option. I don't know. I'd like someone who can run a more up-tempo, 21st century offense, but he's won a couple of good games, and I give him due credit. You can make all the jokes you want about Shane holding this team back, but to get the momentum that they did under the interim, to get the locker room morale probably the highest it's been since, we'll call it the Shane era, even though Shane's gone. It's Shane's players, Shane's scheme, Shane's assistants.
Although, what's funny is, actually, I'll let you finish that thought.
But, so it's the first time, I think, except for the beginning of the Shane era, where you really weren't sure what you were going to get, where I think morale has gone up significantly.
You can tell.
Defensively, I understand it's Wayne State, but defensively they looked incredible. They put pressure on the quarterback. The secondary was strong. Like all the pieces that you want to see on a winning football team. And you had special teams game being quite good. Michael Carlin is a difference maker, and you saw it in some of the games they lost when he was injured. Not having him was a significant deal. So really all positive these last two games. And a strong start to the season. I mean, over the course of the last decade, pre-Shane, 3-9 was pretty normal for us. So to get to that point is nice to see.
Although what my thought was, the intern head coach has more wins.
Yeah, I know.
Than Shane did the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
The irony.
It's bad. And Shane was clearly holding this team back in a number of ways. And so it's exciting to see now that he's gone, that they've been able to win some critical football games and play well. And I look forward to if they get the right guy, what this program could do. I don't know if I can trust them to get the right guy because the last couple hires have definitely not been the right guy. And we're a program that's not great.
I have offered some suggestions.
Yes, you have.
And I do want to add this. Here when it comes to looking for a top-end D3 coach, especially if you're going to try to entice them to go to a low-end D2 school, the athletic department, what they need to do, here's my suggestion, okay? Because the amount of money that is going to be required to fix this football program as a whole is going to be an amount of money that I think the university will not be able to afford on their own. What they need to do is what Michigan State did with Mel Tucker. Get a bunch of boosters, NMU boosters together, private money. They need to get pool private money, upwards of $1 million. Hold on. Hear me out. Okay, this is $1 million problem. The NMU needs to go out and be like, all right, 3-year contract for head coach and coordinators, totaling $1 million, and NMU boosters, alumni boosters, rich people who can pool money together, not university money, not the taxpayers' money, because I don't think we can afford that. But boosters need to come together and be like, all right, we need to actually do something serious to fix the football program.
They did that.
And that is, what do you mean they did that?
They already did that. They invested almost $1 million in the coaching staff net total. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was close to $1 million. He had a 3-year contract, so that was already done. A private donor, I believe it was Robert Sala, but I can't confirm that, put many millions of dollars into
but for renovation. Yeah, but I'm talking about salary.
No, the coaching staff was given total over $1 million, I believe. You can check the numbers. They're public information somewhere, I'm sure. But I believe they got almost $1 million total in compensation for the coaching staff. So the number wasn't the issue. It was just that you hired the wrong guy and you invested the resources poorly. The money is there. Football for this program, for whatever reason, even at 0-11, was incredibly profitable because for some reason people still wanted to watch that game.
Shane Richardson is friends with Robert Salah. That's how Robert Salah was able to
I know
money.
about that. But I'm saying...
But now that he's gone...
The athletic revenue for football is more than enough to pay the coaches the number you're asking for. I don't think you understand how much they profit off tickets, concessions, everything else at those football games. That stadium is decently full for an 0-11 team. Well, I guess it was 0-7 at the time before it beat Roosevelt. But no, they've got the money. It's just you have to invest it smart. You have to get a guy that is actually going to be worth $1 million or 1.2 or 600,000, whatever that dollar amount is. And the most important thing is you have to get somebody with a winning track record.
Yeah. And that's easier said than done.
It's not, well, I don't think so. Getting the right guy is easier said than done.
Okay.
Getting someone with a winning track record is not that hard. Okay, like, we hired Shane knowing full well that Shane only had like 2 winning seasons, that he was falling off at his old job, that he was likely to be fired at a D3 job. Like, we picked a guy that was struggling at the D3 level because he had connections at this university. There is zero excuse this time around to not hire a winner. Now, if you hire a winner and he fails, which does happen quite a lot, you move up a division or you move to a new team, like you saw Bill Belichick after he left New England, like sometimes that marriage doesn't work.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and I would be understanding of that. Mm-hmm. But there is zero excuse not to hire someone that has not won somewhere. That in and of itself should not be that difficult.
And there's plenty of coaches in the Midwest that qualify.
Not even just in the Midwest, across the country.
Well, the reason why I say the Midwest is that it should help with recruiting. You want someone familiar with recruiting.
And that's fine if you want to get somebody from the Midwest. But, like, I think ultimately Coach Hayek is going to turn around the hockey team, but it's the same thing there. You know, he had a lot of experience as an assistant, but he was not a winner as a head coach. And you picked a guy that had ties to this university, and I think he's well-respected in the industry and a good coach, unlike Shane. I think that's a big difference, is he's well-respected. He's been an assistant at winning programs, which Shane also was not. Like, there's differences between the two. But when you are hiring someone that's either an alum or has ties with the school in another way, you have to be really, really careful with that. So when they hire somebody for football, I want somebody that is not affiliated with this program at all, that has a winning track record, and that knows how to develop talent. I think ultimately the hockey team...
There's a lot of D3 coaches that can do
that. There are. And they can bring a lot of their players with that, too, which is what Michigan Tech did in hockey, and that's why they are playing so well. It was supposed to be a reloading year.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But, yeah. Speaking of hockey, bye week this week at Bemidji State. Next week, you're sitting at 0-12. It's not been...
NMU's 0-12, right?
Correct, NMU's 0-12. It's not been pretty. You've had a few close games against good teams, but otherwise you've been, you got drove out of your own stadium by Michigan Tech.
Yep.
You looked awful in Houghton. Both games against Augustana, you kept the score close, but you were outclassed. Really the only series that I was proud of the end result was probably UMass.
Okay.
You played fine against Ohio State, Colorado College, and Michigan State. Didn't expect you to play well, but 0-4 to start in the CCHA and really not competing with Tech at all is just the same old. We've talked on the show in weeks previous about how I feel like the lack of veteran stars is a problem, and it's going to take time to develop the talent they have. And I'm trying to be patient, but I just. They're going to have to bring in a really good freshman class this next year. And then you need the guys that are freshmen right now to really step it up next year as sophomores. And you're going to need to go out and get at least a couple good transfers or nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I trust them to make the right decisions because they haven't given me reason not to trust them. I think the way in which, I don't love the way in which they're playing, especially on the power play in terms of schematically. The pass first mantra I don't love. Think you got to shoot your shot, get some pucks on net, force them into mistakes. I feel like we're very pass, look for the open look.
And it's
defensively
hard to get open look.
Defensively, we get beat very easily on the counter. If we lose the puck in the offensive zone, they push it up very quickly, and we don't get back fast enough, and that has created a number of one-on-one chances that have been problematic to stop.
Mm-hmm.
We've been drawing a lot of penalties, and the penalty kill's been good, but the number of penalties we're drawing is just not sustainable for a winning hockey team. And then when we do force the other team into penalties, the power play is just not creating chances when they need to. And the upperclassmen have been pretty much a non-factor altogether. Graham has been not great the last few games, as we've discussed, and a lot of the other upperclassmen just have not been contributing a significant amount. I mean, defensively is mostly upperclassmen, and as you've seen, the defense has been scattered and not great.
Mm-hmm.
And, I can understand that against really elite programs like Michigan State. Like, I don't expect you to play well defensively. What I'm not expecting is Augustana to make you look bad on defense. What I'm not expecting is, Michigan Tech's a better team, clearly, but I was not expecting the defense to look that poor against Michigan Tech. You literally let them score within 22 seconds. And Houghton, there was zero excuse for that. So they really, really got to tighten up and win some games fast, because it's really hard to sell a program to recruits when you're at the level that you're at and you are not making progress. Yes, they look better, and they are better on paper, and statistically they've been better, but you're still not winning games.
Yeah.
And, you can't turn a program around until you get contributors that are consistent, that are helping you win games. And right now, we really haven't had a lot of consistency except for at the goalie position, which the goalie position is the most important. So I'm glad that Ayang Ashton has been really consistent in goal. But I think offensively and defensively, whether it's, scheming and how you're attacking the zone, something has to change. Whether it's we need new personnel next year, I don't know. I understand we have a lot of new players this year. A lot of guys left after last year or graduated. I understand. But, sitting at 0-12, and we're going to Bemidji. I don't expect us to compete. Bemidji is a very good program right now, one of the better teams in the CCHA. We're not, I don't know what NMU can do, and the CCHA is only getting better. It's a pretty deep CCHA this year, so NMU needs to right the ship fast.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see if maybe after a bye week they can figure some things out and address some of the problems that I've mentioned. Okay, to talk about...
Can we talk about something positive?
Yeah, some program,
football was positive. Yeah,
a program that did exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You brought in a coach. I don't know much about Coach Alex's past before NMU. But you brought in a coach with I would say a fiery attitude, but fiery in a good way. Like a Dan Campbell, eat your kneecaps type of energy. Like a very energetic, very passionate guy, screaming at the refs, screaming at the players, very energetic, very on top of his guys.
Mm-hmm.
Comes in last year as a new coach. A lot of players had left. And they struggled. They finished last in the GIAC. It's not a pretty picture. A lot of their star players leave, and you're looking at this season with, not
high expectations.
Right, low expectations.
Yeah.
For a program that really hasn't been all that successful in the duration of its existence. You put on here it's their first
it is their first GIAC tournament win.
Tournament victory. They had several tournament wins.
Oh, yeah.
So that's exciting. But this team did a couple important things that I've talked about many, many times on the show about what you have to do if you want to turn a losing program into a winning.
Mm-hmm.
One, you got to bring in a coach that inspires his players and creates schematics that enable the best out of his players. And they did. They brought in a guy in Alex Fadovich, the head coach, that did that. That brought the energy, that brought the scheming, that used his players in the best way they could, things like that. Two, you've got to have star veteran talent. And NMU did. NMU had the best goal scorer in the GIAC, tied, I believe, or maybe he, close to the top, in Luka Rosen. Several veteran defenders and a veteran goalie that kept stability on the back line, and then control in the midfield. So you had the veterans, you combine them with some younger guys, and you had that team chemistry that I think some of our other teams have been lacking. Morale was high even going into this year. I think they knew they would be better. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone expected this, but they knew they would be better. And they really did all the things right. And they're a blueprint for some of our other programs, in terms of finding a coach that can inspire that in your guys, finding a coach that meshes well with your players and brings in some additional players, freshmen to help work with that. And so the men's soccer team did everything that you want to do as a program. They were 2-2 against Parkside. They win on PKs, so it was probably the most tense match I've ever watched live. Yep. They then go down to Saginaw. Roosevelt's favored to beat them, but for the second time in 2 weeks, they upset Roosevelt and win 2-1. And then the big one, they beat SVSU, a heavy favorite, one of the favorites even potentially for the national title, win their first GLEAG tournament, and it's just an electric, exciting atmosphere. We love to see that from them. Worst to first.
Yes, worst to first.
Gives a lot of these other programs, I think, hope for the future in terms of rebuilding. The question is, can the football team get a guy that can inspire that kind of change? I'm not saying we go win a national title. We aren't Ferris State, but turning around the program at least maybe to a winning record would be exciting. Other, I guess, good news.
Oh, yeah. Women's basketball beats, is that Lewis?
Yeah.
Lewis, 66-54 yesterday, and also beats Upper Iowa 95-40. They almost got to 100. They almost got to 100 points, which in women's basketball is quite difficult. The opposing defense has to be really bad in order for a team to reach 100 points in women's college basketball. But Upper Iowa is also a D2 school, so it's not like we've faced a D3 school and that happened. But women's basketball currently right now is still undefeated at 6-0. Let me actually double check. I thought they were 5-0, but I just want to make sure I get this correct for you. Let's see here. Which I think our basketball team should be ranked very soon. 5-0. Okay,
yeah,
yep.
5-0. They've had a hot start, obviously beating the number 5 team in the country.
Gannon, yep.
In Gannon.
And then
superb. I expect them to be ranked as well, and I believe they are going soon into GLEAC play.
On the 20th. No, we have our first home game on the 20th,
and then
December 4th.
Starts December 4th. So not that far out. Just 3 days after our last show is when the GLEAC play will begin. Men's basketball loses to Missouri St. Louis 80-67, and then beats Maryville 91-70.
Maryville was their first game of the year, so we're 1-1 right now in men's basketball.
So we'll look to see more from them. They obviously have been a pretty good program the last couple of years under Coach Matt, so I expect to see another strong season from them where they can meet with our rivals, Michigan Tech, for the top of the GLEAC.
Yep, it's going to be fun.
Let's get some bragging rights there. Women's volleyball beat Saginaw Valley State and Lake Superior State in their final 2 games of the season.
Although I do want to add, because for the Saginaw Valley game, in the fourth set, it went into the extra point, sudden death, and it went back and forth until it was like 31-30, or 32-30 or something.
Okay.
Yeah, and
so that's exciting. They secure the 3 seed in the tournament, and the top 2 seeds tied for the GLEAC titles. So the best of the rest, I guess you could say, for NMU.
Yeah.
You should probably double check, but I believe they are playing either, I think, Parkside, but it might be Purdue Northwest. So let Dom check that for you in the first round of that tournament. So we're looking forward to that. They started off the season really rough, as we've talked about before. Okay, I was correct. It was UW Parkside on Wednesday the 19th. It will be here.
At 6 p.m.
If you so choose, I encourage you, 6 p.m. on the 19th, that Wednesday, to go. I will unfortunately be busy, but I hope that some of you listeners can make it to that game and cheer on our volleyball team in that tournament. But yeah, they'll be the 3 seed. They have been on a hot streak, especially in the GLEAC. They finished, I believe, 14-4, something along those lines. So a very, very strong GLEAC performance this year. So we will see if they can make a run on the tournament, because men's soccer team also was the 3 seed, and I said, no way they can beat the top seed, and then they went out and did it.
And they did it.
So maybe the volleyball team can replicate that feat. I'm very excited to see where the men's team gets placed in the tournament bracket. I doubt the full tournament bracket is out yet, but you can look if you want to see. Maybe it'll give you some information there. I believe
for men's soccer?
the men's national tournament, you'll have to look that up separately. The men's national tournament will be coming up. The Wildcats
we don't know yet.
Will be the team that represents the GLIAC there, although I think SVSU has a strong chance after being beaten the final game of being an at-large bid to that tournament. So we will see. Do they have it out yet or no?
The tournament bracket will be revealed during a selection show today. The selection show is at 7 p.m.
First round will be Friday, November 21st. So,
but who we're playing though?
Right, I know. So we don't know.
Will be revealed.
So the first round will be Friday, November 21st. We, of course, if you so choose, highly encourage you to watch.
It's on the NCAA website.
That game. I'm not sure where that game would be. It's probably because it's a national game. You might be able to get it somewhere other than Flow Sports, but TBD on that. If not, there's always great radio coverage on 100.3 for all of those games. So very excited for the men's soccer team. Very excited for the volleyball team. We will see where they go. Other exciting news.
Well, actually, before we do that, because it's the bottom of the hour, if for anyone who's just joining us, this is the Jack and Dom Radio Show here on WUPX 91.5 FM HD1 Marquette. All right, go ahead.
Good news, our cross-country team qualifies for an at-large bid at the NCAA Division II National Championships. I believe is their first time in some time.
We placed third in regionals, and the top.
We placed fourth.
Placed fourth in regionals, but the top three get automatic bids. So
correct. We were an at-large bid. We were one of the top 15 teams in the country, so an at-large bid makes sense.
Yes.
I believe total 5 teams from the Midwest made it to the tournament, so it is a very deep region for this year.
Mm-hmm.
They will go back to Kenosha, Wisconsin, where they just were for regionals to compete in the national championships at 11 a.m. I believe it's either this Friday or this Saturday. I believe it's Saturday. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's 11 a.m. start time for the women at that tournament in Kenosha, Wisconsin. They have a very realistic chance of finishing.
The event starts at 11.
Okay, correct. So it's Saturday at 11 a.m. Okay, so very, very exciting for that team. They've had a superb season, one of their best in some time. Congratulations to those girls, led by Maddie Skamansky again this year. They continue to be one of the premier programs here at NMU. And they look to potentially move up the rankings with a strong performance in the national championships. They're 12th right now. They could potentially be looking at their first top 10 ranking in a very long time. So we'll see where that goes, but very, very exciting news. NMU Athletics, seemingly everybody except hockey right now is on a hot streak, and women's soccer, which is weird because those are the two programs that are normally really good for us.
Yeah.
But everybody else seems to be on a hot streak, and that's very exciting news. So we go to the state level. I know you're super excited.
No.
We'll start by talking about what I'm surprised you didn't put on here, and maybe it was out of frustration.
Okay.
But MSU was forced to vacate 14 wins as a result of fielding eligible players.
Okay, I want to bring this up because I want this on the record, okay? I want to make this very clear.
Before you say that, is my response.
The University of Michigan, I just want to let you guys know, you guys are still the bad guys, okay? You guys are the worst entitled fan base in America.
We really are.
We hate you, and it's deserving of that hate.
Fine. That's what every rivalry is.
You guys think you guys are the greatest because of just, who you are.
We're better than you.
Ethically, no. Ethically, you guys
are you trying to say you're more ethical? Okay, we're not going to go into that on the show.
No. You don't filibuster the conversation. Hold on. In the Michigan State Central Michigan game, where Connor Stalions was caught at the Central Michigan sideline, we have to vacate that game. The University of Michigan football program has done worse.
Well,
did worse.
You have not proved anything.
You guys paid like $20 million in a settlement.
Right, but that proved nothing. We just
And Connor Stallions and the coach
you literally have no proof.
Can't I don't care. I don't care. Stop. I don't care. The people responsible are not allowed to or sanctioned by the NCAA for 3 years, and the university pays pocket change, $35 million to the NCAA, and that's it.
Yeah, because you couldn't prove they were guilty.
This Michigan State goes to the NCAA and is like, hey, we did some things wrong. Here they are. NCAA turns around and is like, all right, you got to vacate this. You got to vacate games, and you're sanctioned from bowl games for the next 3 years.
To be fair, you're not going to be making a bowl game.
Because we had 3 players. Because we had 3 players that shouldn't have been on our team. Which, by the way, I don't think we know exactly who those 3 players are.
No, but the program knew.
But they're not on the team anymore.
Okay, there's 2 major differences in these cases that we can go into.
Number
one,
I am completely checked out of Michigan State football right now.
As you should be. You are going to go winless in the Big Ten for the first time ever.
Yes.
Even if you don't count the vacated wins. This will be the first time ever you go winless in the Big Ten when you lose next Saturday. Or actually, there's 2 more Saturdays, but you're not winning. Let's be honest. Okay, but there's some major differences.
Okay, I said my piece.
Number 1, Mel Tucker and staff knew that these these players were ineligible.
Which we know why they were ineligible? Was that ever announced?
I don't know if the public knows why, but the NCAA and Michigan State knew why, and Michigan State knew they were ineligible and
played them anyway. Okay.
Now, here's the big difference. Number 1, very easy to prove. Very easy to prove that the players are ineligible. Takes 2 seconds.
Well, because Michigan State admitted to it.
They didn't need to. The NCAA was already on that. Michigan State was nice enough to say, I think, here's the players. But I'm pretty sure, I'm not in the NCAA. I can't confirm that they were looking. But I have my suspicions based on how quickly that moved that the NCAA was already looking into it. That's my personal opinion. I don't speak for the NCAA or anyone else, nor can I prove that that's true. But normally when these kinds of cases end this quickly, it means the NCAA was already probing for it. But anyway, it's very easy to catch. Very easy to catch that. 2, admission of guilt. And 3,
which University of Michigan never does. They just deflect, delay, and deny.
Complain all you want. But the biggest
I can't prove it.
The biggest
I just
one
know it's true.
was that it was proven. They checked Michigan. They went after. They looked at all the internal documents. They talked to all the players. They did all the things and found nothing. They came to a settlement because Michigan said you can't prove anything. But rather than have an elongated lawsuit that's a pain for everybody involved, we'll just give you a settlement and call it a day in the NCAA.
I won't believe that.
But okay, fine. No. Believe whatever you want. But it's innocent until proven guilty in this country, and so Michigan is innocent until proven guilty. But anyway, back to Michigan State. Failing ineligible players, you lose the 14 wins. Mel Tucker continues to screw your program over.
We can't find it. We don't know where he is.
Now, here's my question. Are all your wins getting vacated from those years?
Yeah.
So does that mean...
The 12 of them.
So I was going to say, does that mean that Wake Forest actually won that bowl game against you guys?
No, it just means it didn't really happen.
Wait, so does that mean your win against us that year doesn't count?
The experience counts, but on paper, no.
So no. So
that's on paper. That's on paper.
I know. So does that mean the last time you beat us was trouble with the snap?
No. We've beaten you guys after that.
Oh, we're 2018 or something? It's been a hot.
It was that. I know it was after that.
It's been a while.
I think the year when we had Kenneth Walker does count. I don't think so. It's the year after.
Oh, the Kenneth Walker year was fine?
The Kenneth Walker year was fine, yeah.
Interesting.
It was last year before that, and the year before that, but I don't think
a lot of vacated wins then either way.
All 3 years were not winning.
Not that they were good years.
They were not good years. That's what I'm saying. 12. It was 12 wins in three seasons. what I'm told is that the Kenneth Walker year where we went 10-2 and beat Pitt. I think it was Pitt. Yeah, we beat Pitt.
So that year is fine.
I think that year was fine. Yeah, was Pitt or Wake Forest? I don't know. We went that bowl game and we went a bowl game and won it. That counts. But yeah,
it's really interesting because, like, if you look at the all-time series, you had a few streaks where you won like 4 or 5 in a row, and then it's mostly Michigan, except for the only time you really had success of more than 3 or 4 in a row. You had 6 in the 50s, which is when I think you won your national title, so that makes sense. You won almost all of them in the 50s because that was your national title year. Michigan obviously dominated before that. Yeah. But the only times you won the rivalry, like, more than one time.
Well, yeah, with Mark D'Antonio.
Was the 50s and some of the Mark D'Antonio years.
Well, no, Mark D'Antonio had a winning record.
No, I know. I said some of the Mark D'Antonio years. 2008 to 2011, and then 2013 to 2015 and 2017.
Kirk Cousins can come out and say that all 4 years of his playing career, he beat Michigan.
Well, to be fair, that was like the worst seasons in Michigan history. But yeah,
too bad, so sad.
I don't care. We have 4 straight against you, and you're not going to win one anytime soon.
Ugh.
And I don't know. Maybe the 2021 one isn't vacant, but still, you won't be winning one anytime soon.
I can only hope.
Michigan State is vacated those wins. They gave Penn State their first Big Ten win. Michigan sneaks by Northwestern. But ultimately, Michigan State program, if it already wasn't in the dumps, it is now probably the worst Power 5 program in the country at the moment, with all the violations, the winless team, the coach that will inevitably fired. Michigan State has gone from one of the prides of the North to one of the worst.
Yep.
And as a Michigan fan, like, I root for MSU's downfall. But this is no. Let me finish. I was going to say this is a little bit much. Like, I love when MSU loses. I love when they play badly, but I like it more when we beat good or even solid MSU teams. It's more fun that way. I think you'd agree it's more fun when you beat good Michigan teams than poverty Michigan teams. It's more fun when the rivalry is good.
Yes.
I still want to.
The rivalry doesn't feel good.
I still want to kick your butts. I still want to beat you by 50.
But you want to beat. When you beat a team, you want to beat them at their best.
Correct. I don't want to, it's not like, I love beating you no matter what. I want to beat you every year, but it's less fun when you beat your own.
You don't want to beat someone who's broken.
Well, no, it's still fun. Every win is fun. It's just more fun when it's an elite, top 10 matchup.
So speaking again of one, let's talk about this Northwestern game that could have ended very badly for you. I know. You guys won last-second field goal.
Yeah, we won.
Against Northwestern. That's one of the worst teams. One of the historically worst teams.
They're not that bad. They're going to a bowl game.
But you guys could have lost though.
But we did.
That would have.
And that's the difference
very, very embarrassing.
Is we still win.
Was it at the White Sox?
Yes, it was
Stadium?
at Wrigley.
Oh, so the Cubs Stadium.
Correct. So that's a hard stadium to play at, number one. Number two, true freshman quarterback always is going to be tough. And I expected us to be mediocre this year. I can't remember what my record prediction was. And number three, questionable coaching decisions again. I've talked about my dislike for Sherrone Moore. But
I mean, a win's a win.
Michigan, half its starting offense is out on injured reserve. The offensive line is moving pieces. Our 2-star running backs are both injured. So it's a beat-up team. It was already a rebuilding team, obviously under a newer coach, and with a true freshman quarterback. But we'll see. Next year is going to be the make it or break it year for us. There's going to be zero excuses. Bryce should develop. So we'll see. We are still, even at our worst, because we're pretty bad right now. We are barely.
Yes, at your worst, you're still beating
bad
us.
Opponents. I know. At our worst in the last 10 years. At our worst since Jim.
Okay.
We are still winning these games. And I don't think we're ever going to go back to the Brady Hoke, Rich Rodriguez.
Brady choke, you mean?
So, you can have your fun about oh my God, we dominated the rivalry for 10 years, but that's never happening again, and you and I.
You don't know that.
But I do. Michigan's got too much money to make that mistake.
People said that Michigan, little brother, this little brother, this little brother, that.
You are still little brother.
And you just mentioned that in the 50s and 60s we were pretty dominant.
Correct.
And then hold on. And then there was obviously mostly Michigan and then D'Antonio era. And then D'Antonio era, he had a winning record against Michigan. So obviously it can happen again where Michigan State is dominant for a while.
I say no, and here's why.
And hold on. I'm not saying it's going to happen anytime soon. It might be a decade. It might be 2 decades from now.
It won't happen again.
But it can happen again because it has happened twice.
Right, but here's how it happened. It happened
twice.
in 2 ways. It won't happen again. Number one, when MSU was winning.
So delusional.
No, but when MSU was winning national titles, that's not happening again.
You don't know that.
You do not have the resources as a program to win a national title, at least in the next 50 years.
50
and the second
years.
time it happened, the second time it happened was when Michigan was so bad they couldn't even make a bowl game. I guarantee you, with the amount of money Michigan has in an NIL era, that will never happen again. You might win a couple here and there like you did in 2020 and 2021, but never again will you get a streak like that in the rivalry. You are still little brother, and you will remain little brother. And the series is 75-38 to Bob.
Good thing I'm checked out of Michigan State football
You
right
are.
now, or I'll be very offended. I'd be very offended.
But it's 75-38.
I'd be throwing hands. Oh,
That's literally almost double you. 75-38. That's a pretty lopsided rivalry.
I know.
And when you inevitably lose next year because your program's going to be sanctioned and you're going to have a new head coach, that will then be double Michigan. Now, since the trophy were 42-29-2, so not as dominant, but still pretty dominant. Here's my favorite part. In 1902,
No. Stop. I know.
119-0.
That was when we were a Michigan Agricultural College.
But still, that's sad.
And those should not count. Those were the days when we were playing high school.
I know, but still.
And college for the deaf and YMCA clubs. Like, yeah, they are counted towards your overall win-loss tally. You know, like how Michigan has 1,000 wins, and that's...
Yeah, you really only had success in the 50s and 60s, and then a little bit under D'Antonio.
No, don't say little bit. Don't downplay Mark D'Antonio's success.
D'Antonio left in 2019, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so...
Yeah, he did, because 2020 was
He
COVID.
barely had a winning record then. When did he start? Do you know what year he started?
2006.
Okay, since we don't have a lot
Was it 06 or 07?
So we don't have a ton of other topics. So,
because 07 was that player that said,
Mike Hart, who did the little brother
quote,
okay,
and Mark D'Antonio was upset.
Game results. I need you to look up when D'Antonio started with MSU.
No, I don't. I don't want to do this.
We're going to do it because you brought it up.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm guessing he was hired in 2007, but I could be wrong. Okay, when was D'Antonio hired?
Hold on. 2007 to 2019.
Okay, 2007 to 2019. So if we're going to do that, Michigan won, State 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4-2, 5-2, 6, 7-2, 7-3, 8-3. Okay, so 8-5. So a winning record, but nothing special.
Stop it. Stop downplaying his success. Oh my God.
8-5 is good. You had a winning record, but it's not great. The only other time you had consistent success was 1950 to 1966, where you won like 8 out of 10.
What was Jim Harbaugh's record
against Michigan State?
Yes.
When did he start? I think he started in 2015. That sounds right. Okay, 2015. So Harbaugh would be 5-4.
So that I hear people trash talk me, being like, Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. He has a winning record.
Actually, we'll say
he has a losing record against.
We'll say 5.
He
has a winning record against Michigan State. We'll say 5-3.
Ohio State, though.
We'll say 5-3 because I don't count the COVID year for Michigan State, or any other game because it was a COVID.
No, don't say that.
That was only a shortened season.
No.
Fine. 5-4 is still a winning record.
5-4.
And we have 4 straight against you and 6 out of the last 8. So,
yeah, but I got people telling me Jim Harbaugh's a great coach. No, he's a good coach.
No, he's a great coach.
No, he's
national championship is a national championship.
Has won.
And when was the last time you won one?
Long time
That's
ago.
right, pre-Vietnam. Okay, back on track because I'm sick and tired of trashing on NMSU's pathetic program. Okay, it hasn't really been good in decades. Hasn't been good since I was an adult. Okay, hey, at least Michigan and MSU hockey have both been elite. MSU number 1 in the country. Michigan, last I checked, number 3. If we go to the Big Ten in terms of hockey,
So.
which Big Ten is really one of the premier conferences in hockey. Unfortunately, CCHA is not.
Yeah.
If you look at the 2025 standings, it is MSU at 9-1-0 overall, and Michigan at 11-3-0 overall, leading the way. Michigan, MSU, and Wisconsin all with 11 conference points, followed by Penn State with 10, Minnesota with 6, Ohio State with 4, and Notre Dame with 1. The perennial bottom feeders, Notre Dame. It's going to be a heated hockey season. Michigan State, Michigan, Wisconsin, Penn State, all top 10 programs right now. It'll be a gauntlet to the finish for sure for you and I, so we can at least enjoy some good hockey. Speaking of which, Michigan and Ohio State up next, the rivalry game. And then Michigan State against Wisconsin.
You said Ohio State. You didn't say the team down south. Oh,
I don't care.
Okay, good.
It's not rivalry week here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Speaking of rivalry week, though, that is coming up soon for Michigan, Ohio State. But Michigan State, Michigan hockey will be coming up in December. Wisconsin, interestingly enough, will be playing Lake State in December. Michigan will be playing Harvard in late November. But we'll see. It's going to be a dogfight, I think, for both of our teams. Hockey, I don't follow as much for Michigan State, but they are both very, very good. And that is exciting to see. I don't want to talk too much about this because it's been frustrating and it was disappointing. But the Bears are at the top of the NFC.
How? They're supposed to be bad.
The one thing that's going to unite Lions and Packers fans right now, like nothing ever before, is going to be the hatred for the fact that the Bears are ahead of us both.
Yeah.
I literally would rather have the Packers win the division. Like, get these frauds out of here.
Yes.
And they are fraudulent, by the way. They've had to have a lot of last-minute drives against mediocre teams. They haven't played the Packers or really any other of the premier programs yet. Or, well, they played the Packers once. They didn't play the Eagles or any of those other premier programs.
Played us and lost.
Right, like 52-10.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
play badly against the Eagles. Jared Goff looks terrible. On the outside looking in,
I was yelling at my TV. Like,
I stopped watching the game.
Was Jared Goff
Packers
smoking?
and Bears
Please.
both escape against poor Vikings and Giants teams. So the Lions are sitting in third place. And outside of the playoff picture, it is a very deep NFC this year. So it is going to be critical that they start winning some games. And that starts with the classic Detroit Lions Thanksgiving game. That is an absolute must-win game.
Yep. Against the Packers, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta win that.
Yes.
There's no other way to say it. That is a absolute must-win. You are incorrect, by the way. It's against the Giants.
What's against the Giants?
The game this Sunday. Oh, you mean the actual Thanksgiving game? Yeah. No, I meant the one coming up before Thanksgiving.
Oh.
So the Giants this week, and then if you want to talk about the Thanksgiving game, you're correct. It is the Green Bay Packers. That is a must-win. It's a home game. Zero excuse not to win. We need that game. We really need that game. If we look at our divisional rivals in terms of who they're playing the next few weeks, you've got Bears against Pittsburgh. Steelers are winning that game, bottom line. Vikings, Green Bay, so we really need Green Bay to win that game, or lose that game. And then Detroit against the Giants. Detroit should easily win that game. It's going to be Jameis Winston, probably a quarterback. No excuse not to win against a poor Giants team. And then, like I said, over Thanksgiving, Packers, Lions. Lions got to win. And then the Chicago Bears should get pulverized by the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday. So perhaps if the Lions can beat the Giants as they're supposed to and upset the Packers, order can be restored when the Eagles lose a game or the Bears lose a game or two. We will see. I don't
Just
know
the
too
way
much.
things should be.
It's frustrating. It's disappointing. So it's a shame. Is what it is.
One of my other coworkers is a Vikings fan, so that at least I get to say, hey, at least I'm not the Vikings, you know.
Yeah, my roommate is a Vikings fan, and boy, it's tough for them.
Who is?
My roommate.
Oh.
Okay. Next week we'll have no show because of Thanksgiving, and then we'll have our final show at the beginning of December.
Where are you gonna be? Are you gonna be like with family or something?
Yeah, I will be home with family, so no show. It's coming Monday, but we'll do a show.
Maybe
December.
I will be here. I will be here.
You're welcome to do a solo show.
If here's the thing for the audience. Don't anticipate a show. However, if there is one, I'll do a shortened 30-minute, maybe 20, 30-minute, maybe summary of things going on, and asking everybody how everything's going. I don't think I'll have a special guest on for maybe an interview. It's too soon for anything like that.
Yeah, but we will have our final official show.
One
the
after
first my birthday. We will celebrate a great. Has it been 2.5 years together now?
Yeah.
A great 2.5 years together.
So the December show is our last show.
Yeah.
Okay.
A great 2.5 years together. We'll celebrate Dom graduating. We'll celebrate my birthday. We'll celebrate the culmination of what has been a joy of a show for both of us. Yeah, it'll be a bit of a special show. If Dom has enough time, he's going to splice up some of my bad hot takes.
And mine.
And yours. Hopefully you find some good ones, too.
I think so. I've been looking through the transcripts because I've been using a program to transcript all of our shows. I had to do one episode at a time, though. And as it's going through, I'm reading some of it. I'm like, ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, my favorite one was when the Pistons started 2-1, and I said it's going to be a great year, and then they lost 28.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm transcribing it first is so that I can easily search through text.
Yeah.
And then find points and stuff. So. Yeah, that's where that is right now. Also on that show, we'll do our NMU sports tier list as well, because what I'm excited for is now that with the Wayne State win, our football team will not be an F tier. I will not place our football program F tier for the first time in what feels like a very, very long time. So. That's something to look forward to. And I will definitely do a farewell speech. My farewell speech will essentially kind of just be if I did the student commencement speech, for graduation. This would essentially be equivalent of that. I'm gonna do something just something that would be 10 minutes long. Some things that I want to say to everybody as I leave. Now, when I'm graduating, I'm going to be graduating in my associates in general studies. It will not, unfortunately, be in bachelor's in multimedia production because of reasons related to things I brought up at the beginning of the show. But I'll take a break.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna take a break from school because I'm burned out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Make some money because I need to make some money right now. And then I'll get back into school part time. I don't think I'll go back on the show or anything. However, I'll take a class here and there. So you guys might see me if you know my face and and anyone's still around, you might see me every once in a while. But I'll definitely be tuning things down in the next few weeks and then taking a break. and then go from there.
Yeah, super excited for you. I think we can close on that exciting note.
I think we can.
We will see everybody on December 1st. We will have a show of celebrations to close off a great 2.5 years.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is the Jack and Dom radio show here on WUPX 91.5 FM HD1 Marquette. We will see you guys again later.